Hey everybody, you are tuned in to the wrap up. I'm L'Orèal Luchi. This week, the woman who drove Eric Holder to murder Nipsey Hussle testified in court. Young Thug talks suicide in a new freestyle, 3 men charged in a Lil Tjay shooting, plus a bunch more. Let's get right to it. After a 3-year trial delay, Nipsey Hussle is finally closer to getting some justice. The woman who drove Eric Holder to Nipsey's Marathon clothing store, Brianita Nicholson, took the stand and claimed she had no idea Eric was going to murder Nipsey. Brianita says she only knew Eric for about 5 weeks. When they pulled up to Nipsey's store, he was outside and she wanted to take a selfie with him. Now, according to Brianita, Eric approached Nipsey and she claims Eric said to Nip, "Did you tell somebody I snitched?" At this point, Eric got food, hopped back in the car, told Brianita to drive around the block. Brianita testified that Eric pulled out a black semi-automatic handgun, loaded it, and attached a magazine. She said she told him to put the gun away, then he did. Then he told her to pull to the side. That's when he said he'd be right back. Then she heard gunshots. She said she was concerned for Eric's safety, so she waited for him. Then they drove off and she dropped him in Long Beach. She admitted she didn't learn of Nipsey's death until seeing news reports later. She also told the DA that it did cross her mind that Eric could have been the shooter. She also said she picked up Eric later that night and took him to LA. Brianita received immunity in exchange for her testimony. Eric is facing life if convicted. Young Thug dropped a freestyle from behind bars and said some troubling things. In the song, he said he's been thinking about taking his life. He rapped, "I contemplated doing myself." Then he said, "The most suicide deaths are in this jail, but let's not forget that this ain't hell." Now, he also asked God for a second chance, addressed the legal system using his lyrics against him, and creating a narrative about him. Young Thug and Gunna are indicted on RICO charges for their alleged involvement in the YSL gang. Both Atlanta rappers were denied bail, and their trial begins next year. In the last few years, hip-hop heads got involved in heavy debates about Chris Brown and Michael Jackson comparisons. During a recent interview, Chris Brown is shutting the conversation down. He said he doesn't even entertain the topic, and there's no competing against the king of pop. So for anyone saying that Breezy is better than Michael Jackson, Chris Brown is letting the world know he's not. He said, quote, "My personal take on it is I wouldn't even be breathing or even be able to sing a song if that man didn't exist. So I don't know if they look at it as a Jordan Kobe thing, but I can't even look at it." Beyonce and Drake are bringing 90s house music back to life. Beyonce dropped a new single called Break My Soul and announced a new album, Renaissance, dropping in July. This is her first album in 6 years. Drake also released a new project called Honestly Nevermind, which is also a Jersey club-inspired vibe. Now, there's been a lot of online debates about this revived sound. Let me know in the comment section below how you're feeling about it. 21-year-old Bronx rapper Lil Tjay is recovering from emergency surgery after getting shot multiple times at a shopping center in New Jersey. Now, prosecutors say the attack was an attempted robbery against the rapper and 2 people that he was with. Police arrested 27-year-old Mohammed Knight for allegedly pulling the trigger. He's facing attempted murder, armed robbery, a weapons charge, and a motive is not clear. The 2 men Lil Tjay was with, 24-year-old Jeffrey Valdez and 22-year-old Antoine Boyd, were arrested on weapons possession charges. They're both being held in Bergen County Jail. Now, this is interesting. One day before Lil Tjay posted an Instagram story, it said, "Just because you've been around a person doesn't make you entitled to the fruits of that person's labor. Envy is at an all-time high. Be safe out here." Prayers up for Lil Tjay, praying for a speedy and full recovery. After a guilty verdict, a 150-day sentence, and a $145,000 fine, Jessie Smallett is still saying he's innocent. Now, in a recent post-jail interview, he said, "If I had done something like this, it would mean that I stuck my fist in the pain of Black African Americans in this country for over 400 years. Now, although his acting career cooled off a bit, he is spreading his creative wings. You can catch his directorial debut in B-Boy Blues, out right now on BET+. Ludacris and Martin Lawrence are being honored in a major way. They'll both receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2023. Ludacris rejoiced online and said, "Hey mama, your son is being selected to receive a star." Martin called it an absolute honor to be amongst icons of entertainment. Huge congratulations to them both. That's all we got for you today on the wrap up. I'm L'Orèal Luchi. Now I gotta get back to work. Adios.